What's going on, guys? Bank Robber Games here with more Ratchet and Clank 3. Our last episode, when we left off, it was the first episode and we just made our way through the sort of tutorial level on planet Veldin, which is where the first game starts as well, because we're back in the Florana galaxy, which is really cool. So we get to see some new places and some old places from Ratchet and Clank 1 in this game, which is really awesome. First off, I do want to point out a couple of quality life features that they've made in Ratchet and Clank 3. So firstly, you have a mission screen, so you know exactly where you need to go. You have a weapon screen, and it, similar to Ratchet and Clank 2, it shows you what mods you have unlocked, because you don't purchase weapon mods in this game. You unlock them as the weapon levels up. So that's a nice feature there, and you can see how powerful each weapon is and how much experience you need to upgrade it. And you can cycle between all the menus just with the shoulder buttons as well. But the main quality of life feature, if you're doing like a full 100% playthrough, is all the skill points in order. So it makes it much easier to get through them all and check which ones you're missing. But we'll worry about that later. You can see we do have a skill point on this planet. I'll be showing you guys how to get that as well. We do have some skins as well, and you unlock those by purchasing them with the titanium bolts, which are, you know, reoccurring collectible in the games. They don't change anything at all other than just the way you look. And then we have some cheats as well, same as before. But if we look in this first vendor, another quality of life feature is there's a ammo function, and that buys all the ammo for all the weapons that you need to. But first thing we're going to be doing is buying the plasma whip, and I'm not a massive fan of this weapon, but it is required to complete arena challenges later on, and that's tied to a skill point, so we may as well get it now, seeing as we have the money. You can also buy the Neo Storm, N60 Storm, and yeah, it basically functions like a really rubbish Lancer from Ratchet and Clank 2. It's an alright weapon. It's very useful in a lot of situations. Has a pretty decent amount of ammo, and it's pretty powerful when it's fully upgraded, but does tend to lose its usefulness later in the game. But like I said, we're
To throw your whip, hold
going to be purchasing the plasma whip, and this functions exactly the same as the wrench. It does have a limited amount of ammo.
your controller.
But yeah, like I said, it functions exactly the same as the wrench, but it does do more damage when you upgrade it as well. So it keeps it relevant throughout the game. We're not going to take care of those enemies just yet, because over here, this green crate here,
The jackpot crate multiplies all bolts and experience gained for a limited time.
see the ×2 multiplier. And if we're lucky, quick, get some bonus weapon experience as well. And again, the plasma whip's good for small groups of enemies, but when you upgrade it, it basically keeps close range, melee damage relevant throughout the whole game, because your wrench damage will drop off slowly. You always have the plasma whip as an option. Those guys normally take 2 shots with the shot cannon to take down. He was just a little bit out of range there.
To perform a high jump,
All the controls are exactly the same as previous Ratchet and Clank games. Obviously they change slightly depending on your control scheme, but it's fairly intuitive. I'm going to have a quick look in the weapon screen actually, so I can show you the weapon power is actually exactly the same as the shock blaster, at level 1. So it's a deceptively strong weapon. And the physics on it are really cool as well, the way it sort of floats around and then reacts to the way you move.
You can climb.
So you can see we've purchased all the ammo for all the weapons we needed ammo for. You can buy for individual weapons if you want to. Can't quite reach that guy. But here we're going to be getting our first titanium bolt. We're going down to this lower level below the vendor. And again, these are used for unlocking the skins in the special menu. But there is a trophy associated with getting all of them, both the in-game trophy and a PS3 trophy, as far as I'm aware. So you might notice a new type of crate here, and this is Inferno mode. So for a limited amount of time you don't take any damage, and all the enemies you hit with your wrench, you can only use your wrench, but all the enemies you hit with your wrench should be destroyed in one hit. Normally I wouldn't recommend getting the Inferno crates, just because it means you don't get any weapon experience, and a lot of the situations aren't so tough that you need the Inferno armor. But I will show it off in this first section, just so it's in the playthrough.
Inferno mode. Your armor and wrench attack have been greatly increased for a limited time.
So you can see we don't take any damage. And all the enemies get taken out with one wrench swing, but it doesn't take, it doesn't last long. Normally if you don't hang around you can take out those guys as well that come out behind this barrier.
To jump.
So here I'm going to change the camera mode because for whatever reason the lock strafe mode does sort of mess up the camera on the barriers, the jumping bit. There's a little store of crates here. Gives us a nice amount of bolts at the start of the game. I do like this planet. It would be cool if we could explore, all these sort of platforms. But unfortunately, they are limited. We come along here. Here's an in-game trophy. And you need to collect all of these to access the Insomniac Museum, because that returns from Ratchet and Clank 2. And some of them you find in levels, some of them you get by purchasing all the weapons, or getting your health fully upgraded, or getting all the platinum bolts, getting all the skill points, that sort of thing. I'm not quite sure what's happening there. Normally you get an animation play out exactly the same as the titanium bolt animation I played when we picked that one up over there. I'm not sure if that's down to the emulator or the HD collection. It's not a major issue either way. And you might notice as well that we upgraded our shot blaster to level 2, but we can, there's still a bar there that we can fill. So the max level for weapons is actually level 5 in this game. And like I said, as you level them up, you unlock certain mods for them as well, like electric damage and acid damage, like you had in Ratchet Clank 2. Each level you increase it by, it takes more XP to get the next level sort of thing. I didn't mean to get those crates, but we're not missing out on all that
Ratchet,
much.
We have company.
Where?
Behind you.
Where?
Behind you.
Very funny. You having a good time?
You trespass on sacred ground. Now you walk path of death.
But, sir...
Path of death.
So here we've got the path of death. You can exit out the tunnel if you want. You can go back to your ship, which is just there. But there's not really anywhere else you can go. But it is useful having that little shortcut there, because there is a skill point associated with the path of death, and you get that by completing it without taking any damage. And it might take me a couple of attempts, but I'll definitely show it off for you guys. There is also a titanium bolt hidden along the path of death, but yeah, let's take it on and see if you manage to do it without taking any hits. So these are relatively easy to dodge. The boulders along the path of death, they do have a surprisingly big hitbox though, so you do need to watch out for them. So we'll run into those boulders again later on. But over here, along this section, after that platform that you jump on falls away, there's a titanium bolt waiting for you. So that's normally the animation that plays when you pick up a trophy as well. You just make your way back across. And we've got some little flame vents waiting for us as well. I'm pretty sure that you can't take damage from enemies either in order to get the skill point. I'm not 100% sure, but I'd recommend avoiding it just in case it does mess up the skill point. So you can see the fire vents smoke a little bit before they shoot out any flame. So that helps you sort of time it. Just going to take out some of those enemies before we make our way across. So we did take some damage there. So very simply, you just need to reset by falling in the lava, and then that will let you get the skill point if you mess up like I did. So I'm just gonna, hopefully we get it this attempt, but I'm just gonna cut to whichever attempt we do it without taking any damage, if it takes me more than one go, and I'll meet you guys on that attempt. So here you might notice there are safe zones in between the sort of square that the flame vents go on. But if you stay on the flame vents that don't jet out, I'm pretty sure if you stay on it after a certain amount of time, they will get you with some flames. But you just hop between those safe vents over to the end. And then there's some more boulders that you need to be careful of. And like I said, the hitboxes for them are surprisingly large. So you do need to watch out. And there you can see we've got the skill point and trophy. So I'll just show that off for you guys quickly. So that's stay squeaky clean, and that's complete the path of death without a hit. So like I said, I assume enemies factor into that as well. But there's not really any enemies that are a massive threat for you to worry about. Now here we'll have a boss battle, and I recommend getting the boss down with your other weapons and then defeating them with a weapon that you want to upgrade, because they give you a big chunk of experience as well.
Cannot be.
Okay, we walked your path of death. Now, tell us what you know about Dr. Nefarious.
Huh?
Dr. Nefarious! They say you're the only man to ever beat him.
Huh?
Jeez, this guy's even dumber than...
Captain Quark?
Yeah, Captain Clove! That's it, Quark. You've had this coming for a long time.
So he just throws out a little ninja style. Boomerang, rather. It's probably a better, more accurate description. Just shaft the charge shot. It does do a little bit more damage. And when he starts running there, he will hang up on one of these wires and you can't damage him. But if you stagger him, the other enemies still spawn. You can, doesn't stop you from damaging him, basically. So that's basically what he does there. Making this look much tougher than it actually is. You can see our level actually leveled up there.
So, Quark has completely lost his mind. Now what?
Just keep the mask on. He thinks you are his new leader.
Great.
Incoming call.
This is Captain Sasha of the Starship Phoenix. The President has asked me to assist you.
Hi.
I see you have located Captain Quark.
Yeah, we got him, but, well, he thinks he's a monkey.
Of course. Bring him to the Phoenix and we'll see what we can do. Sasha out.
It does sort of make you question what happened to him when he was a Megacorp tester at the end of the last game. They must have really messed him up, even though he wasn't the brightest before. But to end up like this, yeah, some stuff must have happened to him.
Look at that, Clank. This ship is amazing.
Welcome aboard the Phoenix, gentlemen.
Whoa.
Impressive, isn't she? The Phoenix is the pride of the galactic fleet. She's equipped with the latest technology. Holodeck training suite, auto vendors for armor and weapons, virtual firing range, starfighter upgrade system, even a Gadgetron VG9000 game system.
A VG9000?
Of course. With a Mavix Fireball Pro controller, VR headset, and a zero-G dance pad attachment.
Will you marry me?
Well, you've obviously had an exhausting trip. Why don't you stop by your quarters? We prepared a custom living area for Quark, so he won't get in your way. Come meet me on the bridge when you're ready.
To view the world map, press select or R3.
So there you can see we've upgraded our weapon. Because we've still got a little bit of time left on the episode, I will have an explore of the Phoenix. So here we can change the appearance of our ship, but there isn't any ship combat in this game, so it's purely cosmetic. So I don't recommend doing it, because even though it is cheap, it does cost some bolts. So if you do it, wait until later on when you've got some more spare. And I'm pretty sure, similar to Ratchet Clank 2, you can unlock more paint jobs by getting, it's either skill points or titanium bolts. So yeah, if you don't like any of the ones available, there are more that you unlock later. But if we come over here,
This is our Gadgetron weapons vendor. Here you can try out new weapons in a VR simulation before you buy them.
so this is a really handy feature of Ratchet Clank 3. Is that any weapon, if you're not sure if you want to buy it or not, you can press the square button and then you go into a little arena and test it out. So this is the other weapon we had available to purchase on Florana, and it's just a little quick 3-round arena against these crash test dummies here. But the you don't really get any bolts for doing it though. It is literally just to test the weapon. You can also tap the button to improve the fire rate of this weapon, because it doesn't fire as fast as the Lance did in Ratchet and Clank 2. But if you run out of ammo, you will fail the arena, but it just kicks you back out to this menu. So we've got some other weapons available to us. I might actually show those off. But we also have the option to read your, what would have been a memory card on the PlayStation 2. And if you have a save file where you've completed the Gadgetron home planet and become a staff member, you do get an employee discount, and it lowers the cost of all the weapons in the vendor by 10%. So I'd recommend doing this, and we also unlock a new skin for doing that as well. But yeah, this was the N60 Storm was 15,000 before, and yeah, it's got that 10% discount on it. I'll quickly show off this other weapon.
The infector fires nanovirus globules that infect enemies on contact. Infected enemies will attack and infect other enemies until the infection wears off.
So it does a little bit of damage to them as after you infect them. And this weapon isn't great at first because it just sends out that like ball that does a little bit of damage.
Enemies hit by the infector will continue taking damage until the infection wears off. Hitting an enemy with multiple infector shots will make the infection last longer.
But it does sort of auto-seek enemies. And yeah, it's not that great at first, but when you fully upgrade it, it basically launches out a bomb that infects enemies, and it's actually much more powerful. I actually really like that weapon when it's fully upgraded. I think it looks really cool as well. But it was actually on the cover of Ratchet Clank 3 in European or PAL versions of it. So I was very disappointed before I discovered how powerful it was when you fully upgrade it. Very cool. But we also have the suck cannon, and making its triumphant return, and it's much more powerful with the fact you can level it up in Ratchet and Clank 3. Got quite a cool distortion effect on the sort of vacuum as well. But yeah, same as normal, once it's full up, the enemies become ammo. But yeah, in this game as well, you can, I'm pretty sure it might only be when it's upgraded a little bit, but you can suck up crates as well, and you obviously still get the bolts from them. But yeah, it means if there's no enemies around, you can still prepare for the next area. And we will be buying this later on, because it is related to a trophy, and some it is related to a couple of skill points rather. and we'll need it to do some arena challenges as well. But over here,
This is our onboard Gadgetron armor vendor. We'll notify you whenever a new suit of armor is available for purchase.
so we do have the ability to purchase some armor right at the start of the game. Looks pretty cool as well, and you can see it reduces damage by 33%. We will be getting this, not just quite yet. I'll definitely say armor is much more of a necessity to buy in Ratchet and Clank 3 than it was in Ratchet and Clank 2, because there are a lot of enemies that do a lot of damage to you.
This is the Phoenix VR deck. Here you can train in combat simulations or practice using new gadgets.
So we'll access this later. We do have an arena in here, and we will have to do all those challenges in order to get a platinum bolt.
Welcome to the Phoenix Trophy Room. Whenever a crew member is awarded a Medal of Honor, it is displayed here.
So you can see all these platforms here. Throughout this playthrough we will fill up most of these, if not all of them. But when you earn all the trophies.
I'm sorry, that area is restricted. You don't have access yet.
So when you earn all the trophies, you can go through that door, and that allows you to access the Insomniac Museum.
These are your quarters. I set up the VG9000 to play vid comic discs.
How do you think he got like this?
Well, the life of an intergalactic superhero can be very stressful.
Yeah. Anyway, you're telling me this nutcase is our only hope for stopping Nefarious? We're hosed.
But yeah, you can come here and visit Quark whenever you like. Hitting him doesn't do anything. We will be using
This is the VG9000 game
this
system.
later on.
If you have a vid comic, you could play it here.
Good little way to earn some bolts.
Great. Meet me on the bridge.
I keep crouching because I go to use the jet boots that we had in Ratchet and Clank 2. But we will get those later.
Press triangle to interrupt these messages.
We're losing the signal. Try boosting the power.
Isn't that the president?
They came out of nowhere! Tyrannoid invasion force! Presidential compound has been breached! Cannot hold out much longer here!
Mr. President! Dad! Are you there?
Dad?
Robotic citizens of the Florana galaxy, the hour of your liberation is at hand! Too long have we robots suffered under the bigotry, the stupidity, the squishiness and foul stench of organic life forms. Soon, all robots will bask in the liberty and equality of my benevolent, iron-fisted rule. And as for you filthy organic life forms, you can look forward to being disintegrated. That's all for now.
Plot a course from Arcadia. Maximum speed. Prepare the dropship for planetary assault. We're going in.
We'll see you on Arcadia.
It's kind of funny how the sort of sign language by the robot butler there, Lawrence, is complete rubbish, but it somehow made loads of
To view your
sense.
current missions, select the missions menu.
It's funny the way he falls down as well when the camera gets knocked over. But yeah, that is going to wrap this episode up. And next episode we'll obviously head to Arcadia and complete that planet. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode and found it useful, and I'll carry on giving any information that I can remember and showing off how to get all the titanium bolts and all the skill points as well throughout the rest of the game. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode and look forward to the rest of the series. If you are, please make sure to like and subscribe for more, and then that way you won't miss out on anything and miss anything this game has to offer. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.